All right. Well, what can we help you with?
So like I said, I was trying to figure out a way to just be more self-sufficient. Like, I mean, I know it's recorded, but this part could be off the record or whatever. Um, there's only like 12 people left here at the company,
Mhm.
and I have a feeling that the only ones that are really going to stick around are going to be about three.
Yep.
Um, so I'm all that's met our life insurance. Um, leads are cut off, so the only thing I have right now is just 70,000 of what we already had. Um, with the most recents from I can roll here. Everything else is pretty old.
Yep.
Um, so I've got clear talk. I have like just a basic prompt in there for that to like try to call people and create the live transfer. I do have a CRM now, go high level, and
You didn't
essentially I
use
would
my
just,
link or nothing. You didn't give me no credit.
bro. Well, listen,
What the fuck?
I I know.
I at least get
Um,
like an affiliate link.
well, no, that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. So like, this is some guy that Ryan knows, and he's like letting us use his stuff.
Yeah.
So I want something that's mine. You know what I mean?
I see.
Um, so that's why I wanted to talk to you. I'm not just like saying, "Hey, give me free advice," and then go fuck you. I'll use this. Um, but no, I mean, um, so I've been using this now. It's not the best. I need to tweak some things, of course.
So what
Um,
what is open talk? Like I don't think
it's
I've ever
it's Clear Talk AI.
heard clear talk.
So I mean, yeah, I can screen share everything and show you what I'm working with here. Screen two. So this is basically what it is here. So like you can make inbound, outbound agents.
Yeah.
Um, so I've got this one here, Sarah. You
Yeah.
could pick, pick different voices, whatever. It's not bad.
Yep.
Um, give it the little tasks, what it is, its roles, its
Yep.
whatever. Um, all that. So basically, it just calls the people for me, but it has made 895 calls, 449 pickups, 118 talk time, 3 appointments.
Wow.
So overall, not. I mean, I don't know if that's. I haven't ran the numbers percentages, so I don't know the data in that sense yet.
Yeah.
And that's with like a pretty bare
So
script.
you're 1/4 of 1% right now. You're not
Okay.
1%, you're 1/4 of
Okay.
1%.
Yeah. So what, 0.25 or 0.05?
0.025, yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Well, at least we know where we're starting. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so I did make some adjustments to the script. So I'm gonna have to have Ryan add some more credits to the account. Another thing that which is fine because he'll pay for all that stuff.
Okay.
Um, but that, and then I also built um,
What
this.
what's the
I'll show
breakdown on
you.
this? Like,
Basically, it worked with Twilio. So
yep,
we have 13 numbers right now. I think we need more because the guy that was telling me was to say keep it under like 10 outbound calls an hour per number,
that's
so
right.
not like to not spam it out.
That's right.
So at this point, I can make 130 calls an hour
Hmm.
and keep it under that. I think it was a little bit too much because I did kind of have it maxed out. So a lot of the calls I was getting, like the first day or two, I had like a overhang. So I would be on a call and I would get two or three missed calls.
Yep.
So I did go back and make some tweaks to the bot to where like if it can't transfer over to me, that it needs to go into like fact finding mode
Yeah.
and get a little bit more information and try to set like a hard, scheduled callback.
Yep.
Um, so that will start today, but I need to get some more credits before I launch it fully. Um, so I'll see how that helps. I think that
I
should
mean,
help
what's the
with some
monthly
stuff.
price on Clear Talk? Like, what are they?
Um, that I don't know. I don't know the prices for that. I don't know the prices for what Go High Level looks like. So this is just what I have with, the tools I have that were given to me for free, and that Ryan will pay. So I'm trying, like I said, my goal is to try to squeeze out what juice I can out of
Yep.
the leads that are there so I can, because I'm still direct. I'm not paid through Ryan Loading Enterprises on that side, so I can get paid when, as needed. Um, and then I have like a website that I built. like just like a landing page. Um, so I want to build a couple of those out, and then I can just kind of start to funnel in my own stuff from there that's branded, that's all me, and then actually start to put my own leads into a CRM and run them as mine. Um, because until other than that, like this is going to be my transfer
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah,
but
see, we were working with Simple Talk, which they're probably the same parent company, and they
yeah,
just white label because the dashboard looks almost identical.
okay,
The concept is identical. I think we're paying like 1,800 a month
okay,
for the just for that, and then you get, of course, minutes on top of it.
okay,
But what we were planning on, obviously what we would have hoped to have done is, put a 10-person, 50-person team under it and then cost share everything.
yeah,
Um, that way everybody, like we'd go get 50 numbers, most of the states and let it choose the numbers. Um, but this is primarily like an outbound issue. And I thought that most likely it would end up being more financially stable than paying for the Filipino dialers,
yeah.
out there. This is what I was trying to talk Griffin into last year.
Oh yeah, there's some other stuff that went down there too.
All right,
Yeah, it's a wild concept. But yeah, Griffin's not even in insurance anymore,
right,
and Ben Ben left his mark.
gotcha.
But so yeah, I'm just
Yeah. So at this point, so there's two things that you can do. Number one, you can say, okay, so out of 895 calls, 3 appointments, um, you could look at it from that metric,
yeah,
and then you just go, you divide that by the total cost of calls divided by 3 appointments. And that's your cost per appointment.
okay, I see.
So you'd have to know how much the monthly service is, the cost of leads, etc., right? So your total expenses divided by number of appointments, and that would be your
Okay,
cost per appointment.
okay,
Then you could break it down into how many actual people picked up the phone and just allowed there to be a conversation at all. So
okay,
what I would be looking at is the number of people that picked up the phone
okay.
compared to picked up the phone and also booked an appointment, right? So
I
I would
gotcha.
be really, really looking at that.
Yeah.
And I would basically go back to the top and hit call length right dead in the middle, right dead in the very
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I see.
call length and hit it one more time.
There we
Yep.
go. So
So,
it picked
yep.
up my call, but
I
it
would,
was make I shortened this, so it shouldn't be making 8-minute calls to this lady anymore. Um, yeah, so I got
yes,
to go back through
I
here.
would look at everything over 60 seconds,
Okay.
basically. And then you've got your transfer callback disposition on the right.
Yeah. So this is where like let's see, like a follow-up list, Jacqueline. So it does show me, but I can't listen to the recording for some reason. So I got to figure that out because I want to actually hear how it sounds. I can't hear how it sounds.
Wow.
Um,
So the play button don't play?
no. And
Oh,
then if I download it, it downloads as like an XML file or something, and it doesn't play a recording. It just shows me, I don't know. So I got
interesting.
to get that part figured out, but I can go through there and listen to the or read the
What
conversations.
happens if you hit stream?
Yeah, that
What's
just shows me what the bot,
gotcha.
what was happening there.
Okay.
Yeah, because that does nothing.
Yeah, I wonder if it's their voice if they're saving it on a cloud
Mm,
or if you need to be saving all this data on y'all's end. Like, I wonder what the connections, what the settings on that are.
yeah. Yeah, I'll get with them on that.
Um, okay, so scroll up a little bit more. All right, so let's go slowly through here and kind of really measure this. So there's a 7 minute, 55-second phone call.
Yeah, but there's not enough transcription. So I think another thing that I got to figure out, and if I actually set up like a pathway, like the workflow to where, because there, if this is 7:55, almost 8 minutes, there had been a ton of just like silence or it didn't record at all. But that
Yeah.
makes no sense.
So, and then it marked the outcome as a follow-up,
Yeah.
or it looks like it has a transferring to an agent down at the bottom.
Okay. Yeah. So it must have transferred over. That might have been one I either talked to because it transfers to my vanilla soft number
Hmm.
so I can track it and record it there.
Yep.
Um, but I just can't get this recording between the bot. So some of those might be like this one was a long one. I think I got back to this guy. Yeah, but he doesn't make his own decisions. So yeah, what I would do is I would just turn this into a spreadsheet or something,
All right. So,
and I can pull that data.
yeah, underneath a minute, I'd like to like,
See under a minute.
yeah, like because most of that should just be like voice calls, not qualified. I
Yeah.
don't know how you could.
Yeah, there's like, yeah, not qualified voicemail, a 37-second follow-up. I wonder what that would even say. Yeah, and then this question right here, I had to change that. Like a lot of people I talk to, either like the second thing you say, I think that was killing it for a lot of people. Like this one would probably be the same. Oh, this one's to me. But yeah, then these are going to be like not qualified voicemails. Do not call
Yeah. So,
voicemails.
all right, now go back up to the top and do filter. And does it filter by outcome?
No, now I could sort this, but then it won't be in order by date and time,
Mm.
which doesn't matter. But yeah, it's just these four.
Um, yeah, I'd be curious how many of those are just like follow-ups, like what the actual number of follow-ups itself. Go to the search menu off to the right.
Over here.
Yeah, and just see
Oh,
what happens if you put,
follow up.
yeah, like I don't know this software enough to know, but
So these are all showing follow ups.
okay.
68, 68. Yeah. So then a bunch of these are. So I
And
wonder if I can filter by call length and keep it with all follow ups. There we go.
yeah, and then your bottom ones will be your good ones now at
Yeah.
this point. So yeah,
So 16 out of the 68 were over 60 seconds.
yeah,
If you count this one,
right.
it's almost there. That's 17, maybe 18 if you count Ruth, but then you're
Yeah.
stretching it.
So that means that roughly 1% are going into follow-ups,
Okay.
and a quarter of 1% are going to appointments.
Okay. Roughly 1%. Okay, so I gotta boost that.
Right. So, or another way of thinking about it is maybe like 3 out of 16,
Okay.
which is basically like 1 out of 5. roughly.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm.
Okay.
So then you would just look at, like if you're running 60,000 and it keeps that same metric times 1%, you could say that maybe 600 people are gonna pick up the phone for a minute
Okay.
or like 1 minute.
So maybe 1% will pick up at this rate.
Yep. And then you're doing, and then of that, 20% of those might book an appointment. Should be about 120 appointments. But, right. Imagine that the average stays the same,
Yeah.
like not changing variables.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What you would expect is 600 people to answer, 100 people to book an appointment.
Okay.
And then
So at best, I got 100
how many
people I
can you
could
do a
squeeze
day?
out of here.
All
Yeah,
right. So
not
how
that
many
many.
are you
Yeah.
doing a day?
Right now it seems to like stop at about 200 calls. So I don't know if that's because we don't have enough numbers or what, but I have it scheduled.
60,000 divided by 200 days. So it'll take you 300 days to go through the list.
Yeah, so I need more numbers.
So you're
Otherwise, it's 300
300
days.
days to get 100 appointments.
I need to do it in like 30,
Yeah, right.
you know, or at least 60. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And I think it doesn't help that all the numbers he got were just 216 numbers. Like
Mm,
he like set it up to focus solely on Cleveland.
okay.
I only have like 1,200 Cleveland leads, but they're all, I mean, they're like 5 years old, which is whatever. But if you take the same rates off of a 1,200 people,
Yeah,
12 people answer,
right,
one book an appointment.
right. Yeah, I mean it's virtually the same getting people to respond to an email is right at about 1-2% on average, cold
Okay.
emailing, depending on like what angle or what offer, but let's just say that you're like not tricking them, and
Right.
you would say that 1-2% show up on email as well. That's pretty consistent uh, across the industry.
Okay. And then another thing I was going to run simultaneously was like a voicemail drip on the CRM
Mhm.
just to kind of strike something. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was the plan for those two things, the CRM drip and then these campaigns going.
Hmm.
Um, and other than that, I mean, I can adjust the script all day, but that's not going to make people answer. So I'm really not going to keep, there's no need to fuck with that unless I have to, based off of what these
Now,
calls look like.
do they have it where one AI, like an outbound AI bot, can call an
From,
AI inbound bot
mm,
and warm your number up, get talk time in so that it warms it up?
I probably could make one because I mean, there's an inbound. And then, I mean, essentially, it kills me OCD wise because you got 13 numbers and not like 10 or 15, but or an even number. But I guess essentially, I could probably create an inbound bot that transfers, and just set the transfer number to the inbound bot number, and
Yeah.
then forward them to each other or something like that,
Right.
and then
And
get them
I
to
don't know
talk.
if you would want to do it in here or if you would want to do it inside of Go High Level, because Go High Level does have an inbound bot
Yeah, yeah,
and you can custom each bot per task and assign a very specific number to it for $1.
yeah,
And if you've got unlimited AI, then I don't know. Um, but it's costing you like 2 pennies a minute
yeah.
to do that. And but have a 10-minute conversation, every hour or something like that. Like, and then you can specifically build the bot to go,
Mhm.
your entire function is to keep a conversation going for 10 minutes, right? Or for 5 minutes or whatever you want the number to be.
Okay. So then I could probably set it up, and this
You're
is
a
with
pretend customer that's going to be interested in life insurance, and your whole job as a pretend customer is to
yeah.
my outbound dialing bot to talk with you and get smarter and get better. So, what I need you to do is pretend to be a customer that has common needs, common objections, and you're going to go through those needs every time. You're going to go through those objections every time. And your outcome is that I get to see the script that the
Ooh.
outbound bot is talking to you and how it's overcoming your objections so that we can fine tune it and learn. That's who you are, right? That's your
Wow.
goal,
Yeah, I
right?
never thought about that because then couldn't I essentially once an hour, every number or whatever, or throughout the day, like takes the 10-minute route and goes and talks to that bot? Like it makes
Exactly.
its 9 outbounds and then it talks to this one for 10 minutes
Exactly.
and then it's constantly training itself and getting, okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Man, one hand washes the other.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is the future. Like, this is where we're headed. Uh,
Yeah, I never thought of it in that level. Like, I don't know much about like creating the workflows and stuff. Like, I can make a basic, simple drip voicemail, but the heavy duty stuff I want to get into. I love the idea of that. Like, I love building that stuff and orchestrating it.
mhm. So, I mean, if you don't know, so two things can happen, right? You can run this as is and map out 100 appointments over the next 300 days. And then you can know exactly how much this costs you per day, and then times that times 300. And then you'll know like what your total out expenses are. And then you'll know what your closing rate is based upon those first 3 appointments or first five or first 10 appointments. And then you'll know how many of those you actually closed to see, do you break even? Are you winning? Is it sustainable, or are you
Yeah,
spending more than you're making on the back end and it's not even sustainable and you got to remap that.
yeah.
The second thing that I would be working on is, out of 859 calls, is there a chance that we can get it to 10% pick up the phone? Or 20%. If we get them to pick up the phone, can we do better than 20% booking appointment? Can we get 40% booking appointment, 50% booking an appointment, right? So those are the variables that we would have to play with and go,
Hmm.
right? So if I
Yeah,
make 100 phone calls, 25 of them can pick up the phone. Can we get to that point where 25 people are picking up the phone? Of the 25 people that pick up the phone, can I get 10 appointments? Right. So, and,
yeah,
and these are like the hard numbers that you go back every day and you tweak it, tweak it, tweak it
yeah.
until you hit that threshold where your income is beating the expenses, and then you can scale it.
Okay.
But until you know those exact numbers, right now it's testing, it's learning,
Yeah,
until you know the numbers. So I would know the cost of clear talk, I would know the cost of my minutes, and then I would divide that out, over 30 days,
hmm,
like multiply it out, and then
yeah.
that would be your daily expense. And then once you know your daily expense, you can divide that by how many sales you've made. And that's your client acquisition cost. Like, that's
Okay.
like your no shit. And
Okay.
as long as you're making more money than that, then keep it going. But if you're not making more money than that, then you need to, like, emergency red flag. It's broke. You're losing money. You are moving towards bankruptcy. Like, fucking fix it. Like, change something to where either more people are answering the phone or more people are booking an appointment from the answered phone. I mean,
Yeah,
those are the only two levers that you can control
yeah,
here with this situation.
yeah. Because
More
I
people answer, or more people booking who did answer.
Yeah. 'Cause I know with this one thing I did notice, it takes like 2 or 3 seconds before it actually starts its thing. And I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think it has to do with like there's a call setting that I can change. It's like, well, I think wait for greeting. If I turn that to false, it shouldn't wait the 2 to 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So if I can change that, that should help, at least potentially help the stay on the phone rate for those who do answer.
Hmm.
I slowed down the talking because I did read a couple people said that the dang thing was talking too fast.
Yeah.
Um, I turned the temperature up a bit compared to where it was because
Yeah.
it was super rigid.
Right.
Um, and then this interruption threshold,
You want
like
it,
do I,
you want it to be able to be interrupted at any time. Yeah.
okay, okay. But everything else looks to be where I need it to be.
Right.
So now that I turned that
And
off,
how
uh,
does this plug into Go High Level?
um, just everything that I have here. So all of my clients or all the people on the list, I just put a tag,
Yeah.
and then so like if I were to go like make like an outbound campaign, let's say we just did like a batch campaign,
Yeah.
um, it has my bot here, first sentence, the transfer numbers, all that, the objective, pick the tag, and then it just links to what's with Go High Level. Um, but it has some issues. So like this one has like 50,000 to the tag, but it last time I checked, it won't load it at all. So I'm like batching them up. I'm gonna do like I'll try 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 to get whatever I can, and
Yeah.
then throw them in there at a time.
So inside of Go High Level, is it tagging the outcome of each conversation? Is it moving it in a pipeline? Is it doing stage progression?
No, because I don't have anything like that set up in the automations. But what it will do, um, and it might not be on this page, but it'll say called, yeah, call complete. So if this is the batch 1,000,
Yeah.
so the next batch, whatever. So once it does call them, it adds that they've been called. But
Okay.
there's no pipeline, there's no workflow, there's nothing that said, okay, once they go here, do this, do that, recycle. Um, so I don't have anything like that set up, but I know from what I've been told,
Yeah.
it can
Does
link
it
that way.
add tags?
It'll add a tag.
Yeah. You definitely want to track whatever the disposition is
But
inside of Clear Talk.
yeah,
Like, you know how it said when we were looking at the first dashboard,
yeah, this one or the first
how
one.
it said outcome was busy, outcome was voicemail, outcome was
Oh
uh,
yeah, down here.
back, outcome was, right? So all these call outcomes should be tags that
Okay,
get tagged to the client in Go High Level.
okay.
That
Clear
way
talk
you can
tags.
filter everything by tag.
Okay, clear
You
talk
know what to
tag.
do per tag.
Okay, gets added to go.
Right. And that way you at least know, like if it's a no answer, then you can figure out, like it needs to immediately get put back into the call again.
Hmm.
If it left a voicemail, um, you can attempt to do some additional follow-up through the voicemail, right?
Okay.
If it was busy, I mean, it's virtually the same as they didn't even know that they had a call,
Yeah. Okay.
right? So like it's almost like a no answer. It's virtually like a no answer
Hmm.
because they might have saw the number pop up
Yeah.
on their phone, but they weren't going to click over,
Hmm. I
So
got you.
so it's almost like you called, and then what? So what are the other possible call outcomes? Scroll down.
Yeah, we got busy, voicemail, no answer. There's do not calls, um, follow up. There would be like appointment set.
Yeah. Okay. So
Um,
follow up. Let's consider follow up. So you would want a stage in the pipeline called follow up.
okay.
Well, you technically want a stage that is every call disposition, right? So
Okay.
there should be one that's no answer, one
Okay.
that's voicemail, one that is busy, one that is
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Pipeline stages for all outcomes.
right.
Okay.
And you want to train it to where it moves that person into that stage and holds them there,
Okay.
uh, so that you can at least measure this from a dashboard point of view. Because it'll show you in your dashboard
Yeah.
a very clean snapshot of number of people and where they're at in the stage and what progression they went through per
Yeah.
stage.
Because this one doesn't show me anything like that. Like I've got, you know, the daily totals, weekly totals, whatever calls,
Right.
but nothing in that.
Because they're just tracking
Yeah.
calls because that's the only thing that they're making money on is how many minutes you can spend on there
Hmm.
is how they make money. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah, that would be the other thing so that you can at least manage like what the outcome of this 60,000 attempts are
Okay.
and put everything in their specific category.
Okay. I will check to see how to do that, but I got the notes down there. Okay.
And then, you know, there should be a way where you can at least run an email campaign to the same numbers.
Yeah.
You might figure out a way to do a texting campaign, but texting cold numbers is a high opt-out rate.
Yeah.
Like it's challenging. It can be done, but it's challenging. Emails are a little bit easier
Okay.
than,
Yeah, I'll have to see who all I have emails for. Go from there.
but like to me, this is outbound is to me at the finish line when you have all the other pieces in place.
Hmm.
Outbound is the finish line because it allows there to be like a 1% turnover and that you can do something with, but it's not regular enough, it's not steady enough,
Yeah.
it's not high enough intent and
Right.
to pay the bills.
Yeah. Because I mean, there were some times where I'd get one, three comes in, I miss them, and then there'd be another time where it's like you get three or four for the whole day or whatever,
Yeah.
and that does not.
That's why like we completely focus on inbound and very, very, very specific inbound stuff.
Hmm.
Like we were getting like we just ran a campaign for somebody that brought in 6 leads. 4 of those leads booked appointments on their own, like 4 out of 6.
Yeah.
And the cost of
So
appointment was $54.
that's not bad.
So, right.
Yeah.
And if you think the average person, is about a 25% closing rate. So out of 4 appointments, you'll make one sale, and that one sale should be about $800 or whatever. And you go, okay, can I trade, you know, $200 worth of appointments for $800 in
Yeah.
uh, in sales? And you're like, yes, I can do that. That's 4 times, right? So it's a 4x multiple, and you go, cool, do more of that.
Yeah. And that's what that, I mean, that's the goal. Like I know that this isn't, this is like, I don't trying to fix a car with a screwdriver.
Mm,
Um, but I know that if I can do it and I can squeeze something out of it, that's where I want to
yeah.
like start. That's why I was saying like I built, and I can show you the website. It's nothing
And look, I hate to be a
special.
fucking
No, I mean,
dick
I don't
about
know.
it, but if you're absolutely going to run a call center to get like 1% outcomes, this is the best version to do it. But with the wave dialer
Hmm.
inside of Go High Level, you're calling three numbers at the same time, so you
Yeah.
can blow through 300 numbers and, like a little over a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Like it doesn't take very long to run through 300 phone calls,
Yeah.
and you know exactly what the outcome is live in real time without having to worry about any of these transfers or any of that. And it's auto tagged and it's auto staged and it has
Right.
drip, and you can text from the same number that you're calling them from and follow that up with an email. And if
Yeah.
you've got like a website that's an explainer website within your text, within your email, then they're also like clicking links, and you can measure that they clicked a trigger link. Like that they clicked it, and
Hmm.
then they went there, and then they're looking at whatever it is you sent them to that hopefully is either educational based, or it points out a problem they didn't know exists, or gives them a solution that they were,
Yeah. Okay.
skeptical about, right?
Okay.
And like so, we're just seeing way better results with that technique.
Yeah.
Um,
So would it make more sense then instead of like trying to put time and effort into this and time and effort into this, should I just suggest to him to get this wave dialer and all the other little automation stuff? I could just do that within Go High Level anyway.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That makes sense. Because I know he's locked in with Vanilla Soft for the
okay,
next year. Like he can't back out of that. So like that, I mean, that's one number I have as well.
yeah.
Um, so that at least that's locked in. But so instead of every other day asking for more money added to the Clear Talk credit, I can just 156 a month with Wave dial thousands of people a day.
Or at least hundreds. Like
Or
let's,
yeah, hundred, yeah, hundreds. Yeah, I mean, I know I've done like 600 or 700 a day with it before.
yeah. And it just, it's dialing three at a time, and you get to choose the disposition.
Yeah,
And if they answer, it answers in real time, and you get to talk. And if two people answer simultaneously, one gets dropped a voicemail, like at the same time. So you've got that situation in place on what to do if two people answer at the same, three people call. You
yeah,
they've got that problem solved.
yeah.
And
Because if that makes sense, because if I got to try to contact more people, I need more numbers on this Clear Talk, and I don't have as much control of what or how the spot thing's going to interact. Like if it was a perfect setup and it was built out well, it might make some sense. But
right. Yeah, and like if you want to train your bot on the background to be an outbound dialer for you, then like I was saying, I would create a go high level inbound bot that specifically says your entire role is to talk to my outbound clear talk AI bot to pretend that you're a customer that needs insurance. And you can be anywhere between the ages of 45 years
hmm,
old to 80 years old, and you can have any number of medical conditions, and you can have any number of income and budget, and change it each time, so that our bot becomes very good at working with multiple
versatile. Yeah,
situations and overcoming multiple objections. Right? Some of the most common objections are always going to be, um, I have something already and
yeah,
I don't need it. Um,
not interested. Don't rem
well, yeah, but not interested for what reason, right? So not interested is always like it never means what it says. Nobody's just not interested. They're like, I'm not interested in something I don't know what the value is yet. I don't understand what the point of this conversation is. Of course, I'm not interested in something
Right.
I don't understand and I don't see the value of it. Right. So I never, ever listen to not interested. Not one time ever do I listen to that. Right. Um, but some people have medical concerns, health concerns. Well, I've got, COPD, I've got cancer, I've got, heart control. I've got something, right? I'm disabled, right? So that's going to be a real one, the medical issue. I'm on a fixed budget. I'm on Social Security. I'm on disability. I don't have any new means to create new money, and we've got to make sense out of it within my fixed budget, right? That's a real objection,
Yeah.
and like that demands like real participation to make sure that it is like a good fit that they can afford always. Like there's enough margin in the budget that makes sense financially, or the policy's too big, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we can't get you that much coverage because it's too close. Like you're looking under the couch cushion for pennies every month just to come up with this, and eventually you won't find a penny under the couch cushion. Let's not get this big of a package. Let's do something that gives you a margin, 20% left over in savings. It's affordable, it's repeatable, and in case of a rainy day, you don't have to choose, do I pay this or pay that? Right.
Yeah.
So you're figuring out how to work within that safety margin. Well, then they have policies already, and you go, well, what policy do you have? Well, I have an IUL already that I bought, when I was a teenager. Okay, cool. An IUL is not going to pay out final expenses, right? It'll take a while for them to get that all worked through. Meanwhile, your family is literally dealing with how to come up with instant $12,000 to pay for the casket, the arrangements, the burial, the plot. Like they're going to need money instantly. They can't wait 30 days on the IUL companies to pay out, right? So final expense was uniquely designed to pay out in 24 to 48 hours, get cash to the family so they have cash available within days to immediately go straight through the process, right? And it's the
Right.
only thing designed like that for that reason. And so you're like, I know your insurance is good for one thing, but it's not going to fix this problem that we're focused on. And they're like, well, I've got cash. Like, okay, in order to get access to your cash, we have to go through probate. We have to get an attorney involved. The attorney has to look over everything. They have to get access to the bank account. They have to pull the record. Then they have to divvy it up, look for a will. And that takes days, weeks, or months sometimes. So going through probate, cash in a bank account just doesn't work, right? You go, now, if you got cash under your mattress and you could let somebody get to your mattress, perfect. But if your cash is in your bank account, it's actually going to be really, really hard for your family to get access to it fast enough to pay for the funeral. And you like walk them through like these scenarios. Like, well, shit, I never thought about that. I didn't know it was that way. Well, fuck, I hate this subject, man. I hate everything about this topic. You're like, would it be terrible if I just tried to make this as easy for you as possible? Like I think after talking to 1,000 people, the easiest way possible is if you can forward this $59 a month and it pays out $25,000 overnight to your family, and we know exactly who's going to receive the money because you put it as a beneficiary, then in 24 to 48 hours, that money's in their account and they turn around and go to the funeral home and pay it out within 2 days, 3 days. Y'all have everything planned and everything in budget. Like, can we make it that simple for you?
Yeah.
And you're just trying to get them to think about that. They're like, no, I don't want it that simple. I want it complicated and messy. And like, okay, fine, you want it. And then you make an offer so good that it would be ridiculous for them to say no, right? So when you're like, can I make it easy and affordable and overnight? And they're like, no, I want more problems and more complications for everybody, while they're grieving with me. Like,
Hmm.
cool. Say that, like get them to say that out loud. And they're like, well, fuck, I don't want to do that to everybody. And like you pull that emotion and then they understand the reality of what that means.
Okay.
Um, but you want you to train your bot to think like that, to know that, right? And when you get the two of them talking to each other, you want your outbound bot to pull on the heartstrings of your inbound bot to get them to open up and go, oh my God, I didn't even think about it, like probate and court and attorneys and like, weeks and months instead of, getting a plot and having it finished in the same weekend. But if you can get your bots to talk like that, then eventually they'll be smart as fuck. And then they can go out into the world and do it on a real person.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I never thought about that before. Okay. So that works. I will
Yeah.
make some adjustments here.
And one of the things that is just like the bare bones basic thing to do is use social media and make a post and build your Facebook page, build your audience page, and just every single day, all that you're going to do is tell a story about somebody that had that problem and you solved it and you gave them this new solution. And then down below at the bottom of the post, and give a video, like let them see you, let them get comfortable with you. And then at the very bottom, be like, if you know somebody that this could help, please comment below. Like, don't say, would you like me to help you? Actually say, if you know anybody that might use help like that, comment below, right? Because they don't feel as challenged
Hmm.
saying that they know somebody, right? But if you're like, what's your phone number? What's your email? What's your home address? Oh, I don't know you enough to trust you with that information. You're like, would
I
you
got
know
you.
anybody that might be interested? And then they're like, oh yeah, that seems safe. Like I can give a reply to maybe I do know somebody that's interested. And
Okay.
then obviously, if they comment, Go High Level has an AI automation that immediately turns that into a booked phone call, a booked appointment, or just keeps responding on there,
Okay.
um, and like you can run that automation and it's pennies for that automation, not even pennies, less than a single penny to run that automation. And then every day you're getting a little bit more of a follower, a little more of an audience. And eventually they will know Shiler always comes on every day and talks about helping other people, and he could probably help me too. And eventually people will just respond to it and start reaching out to you for free leads. This is the organic method, right? Where you're focusing on getting free organic leads
Yeah.
until you've got your $5,000, $10,000, and you know what your close rate is to do paid. I have a very strong rule. Once I know that my close rate is strong enough for paid ads, I have to run paid ads. Like once I know my close rate is that strong, I have to move to paid ads because organic just doesn't come fast enough,
Hmm.
right? And the window of time is so short that I know if I spend, you know, $200 a day and that ends up getting me 5 or 6 appointments and I make an $800 sale, I can do that again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like I know for a fact I can do that tomorrow, and I'm not shopping for anybody. I'm not wondering where's my next, dollar going to come from. Like I know tomorrow I'll spend $200 again. It's going to get me, 6 more appointments, and I'm going to make a sale off of one of those 6 appointments. And As long as I'm tripling, at least tripling my money, it's sustainable. Right.
Hmm.
So if I'm spending 200 a day and I write a $600 policy, I can do that forever. There's no reason to not do that. Like no reason at all. And then you're working on all these other little ones that are like dripping in from the side. But anything other than that, you're just losing money every day that you don't do it. Like you're actually losing money on a daily basis.
Okay.
Map that out. Like, I lost $400 today. Well, I did it 5 days in a row. Cool. I'm choosing to give away $2,000 because I won't begin. Like, okay, cool. But say that you're choosing to give away $2,000. You're choosing to give away $8,000 this month because you won't start. You're like, okay, all right. Just be real about that. And like once
Yeah.
you know what your closing rate is, you should be it should be so much pain that you're not doing it, that it should drive you crazy because you know that you're losing like $8,000, $5,000, something. You know that you're absolutely losing because you're not doing it. And you're still like using other techniques that aren't going
Yeah.
to get that kind of result. And it just pulls your time away.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm about to, on a personal level, I'm about to have to start like posting videos on a daily basis to go, how to start from scratch and like build a $10 million company from scratch. Here's what: zero followers, zero replies, zero reviews. And here's the journey that it takes. Like, let's document it on a daily basis and see how fucking long it takes and how many steps are involved in do there. But once the journey's documented, everybody will like know for a fact, holy shit, he went from zero to 10 million. It's fucking doable. There's the blueprint. The problem is the blueprint that works for me in 25 may not be the blueprint that's going to work in 26. So the
Hmm.
blueprint's only relevant today. That's the problem with like going back in some of these videos. Now there may be a little bit of carryover, but it was like Gary Vee was talking about, like back in the day, there was only an email strategy because Facebook literally didn't exist. LinkedIn didn't exist.
Yeah.
TikTok didn't exist. YouTube didn't exist. Google Ad Spend, Google AdWords did not exist. So the only thing that did exist was yellow pages, white pages, email, right? And there was a time that was the strategy that people had to employ.
Right.
But now you can make one video. I mean, I've never did it, but some people have made a video that gets a million views and it like brings in the next 20 customers that changes their whole life. And you never know which video like did it. You just you do a video 100 days in a row and you're like, oh, it was a shit video, shit video, shit video. All of a sudden, a million hit video. Like,
Yeah.
well, life changed. But you had to be putting a video out every day in order to get there. Tony Robbins talks about never like studying market trends, just today put your money in the S&P 500 and it will go up, 10, 12% over the next 20, 30 years. It will ride that ride. So like don't wait. Is it the right time for me to do it? Like it's today.
Yeah.
Absolutely today to do it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go get to work here. Um, yeah, I'm gonna talk to Ryan,
Yeah, I mean, look, at
get
the
all
end of
that.
the day, everything always comes down to just understand the numbers.
Yeah.
Like, just take the time and map out the numbers. So the starting conversation is, okay, here's what we did so far. How much have we spent total right now as of today? And how many days have we been trying this? And that's your cost per day, right? And then you go, okay, what's the outcome? 859 phone calls, 16 of them answered for over a minute. 3 of those booked an appointment. That's our averages. If we keep doing exactly the same thing, how much will we be spending? How much will we be making back?
Okay,
Is this what we want to do?
I get it. All right. And then yeah, just start making some putting some shit out there. Facebook.
Yeah. Because you'll never go wrong if you start building an audience now and you play a 1 year, 5 year strategy. You'll never go wrong with building your own public audience that chases you down to get you to help them like you help somebody else on a different video, which is literally why I'm practicing what I preach, shooting these free videos for everybody so that somebody will watch this and go, holy fuck, maybe Travis will help me like he helped Shyler today. Like, that's like, I'm literally doing this so that somebody will watch a video like this and go, holy fuck, now I would want him to do that for me too. And it'll eventually, like on the back end, it'll be like, oh,
Yeah,
I'll pay you for that. Like, cool.
yeah. Starting from scratch.
Yeah, I'm gonna start over.
It's a lovely feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't care. It just shows you can do it
Yeah,
again and again. Like
yeah.
it's
True.
wasn't a fluke. All right, brother.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you. I'm gonna get to work here.
All right. Bye.
See ya.